Hey, hi guys. I noticed in today's Desmos activity of solving the one-step equations that we're having a little bit of trouble showing our work correctly. And as we get to more complex equation solving in this unit and even more so next year in 8th grade, you're going to want to be pretty consistent on how you show your work in solving those equations. So one of the equations that you saw was negative 2x equals a negative 8. And now some of you can do this in your head. You're thinking negative 2 times something equals negative 8. And in your heads, you know that that something would have to be positive because a negative times a positive is negative. And 2 times 4 is 8. So you know already the answer is 4. So some people just went ahead and wrote x equals 4, which is accurate. What I want to start practicing though is showing how and why that is. So we're going to use inverse operations to get our variable by itself. So right now our variable is attached to the negative 2. And they're attached through multiplication. The inverse of multiplication would be division. So we are going to divide both sides of the equation by the negative 2 to get the x by itself. And remember, we divide using fractions. So we can just show that. Right here, we're going to divide both sides by a negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1, so I'm left with 1 positive x. The equal sign drops down, and negative 8 divided by a negative 2 is positive 4. So this is what I want to see in your work. I want to see you doing that inverse operation to both sides of the equation. It's important that you do it to both sides of the equation to keep your equation balanced. Another problem that you had was t being divided by a negative 4 equals 2. Okay, the inverse of dividing would be, I hope you said multiplying because it is. So we're going to multiply both sides by a negative 4. So we do that to the side times a negative 4. Dividing and multiplying cancel out. We get t equals 2 times a negative 4. Positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so we are practicing those one-step equations, and we're still practicing those operations with integers that we were working on in our last unit. Let's go over 2 more problems from Desmos yesterday. You had n plus a negative 4 equals 15. We have addition. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So instead of adding a negative 4, I am going to subtract the negative 4. Subtract a negative 4. Okay, so this cancels out. N comes down. Remember, subtracting a negative is the same as adding. So this really becomes 15 plus 4. So we get 19 as our answer. And I did see a lot of you knowing the answer is 19, but not really sure how to show that. So I would want to see either a subtracting a negative 4 on both sides, or you could have just shown a plus 4 on both sides. But again, I do want you to show this step. The final problem, n minus a negative 3 equals 17. Now, before I go to solve this, I probably would clean up the problem. Because when we're subtracting a negative, remember that's the same as adding a positive. So I probably would rewrite this as n plus 3 equals 17. Then do that inverse operation. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And n equals 14. Okay, so this is in response to the Desmos activity that you did yesterday. And most of second hour did their Desmos activity. That's awesome. Third hour, there's a few more of you that still need to do that. Eighth hour, many of you did not do the Desmos activity as of 5 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, or Tuesday evening almost now. So please go ahead and work on that. Then watch our video, because we're going to start to review our next activity. I think I might push it off another day as I'm just making this video. I think we're going to do a little bit more practice after watching this video. I'm going to have you do a Google form where you're showing me your work on some problems, because I want to make sure we are good on that before moving on to our next review, which will be the distributive property. So go ahead. Thank you for watching this video. In the Google Classroom, you will see a Google form that I want you to complete just a couple of problems. I am going to ask you to show your work on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and upload it into the form so I can see that you're showing your work correctly, okay? Thank you. Bye, guys.